Welcome to the Podium Live, giving you an inside look at some of the best football coaches and players around the world. Our goal at the Podium is to help athletes and coaches sign contracts with teams across the globe. If you're an athlete or coach or you're looking to play anywhere in the world, make a free account today on thepodium.com. You can go to the address recruit.thepodium.com. Okay? I'm your host, Vincent Purvis, Texas guy, living in Finland, talking sports with people from all around the world. Today on the show, I have head coach Garrett Griffeth of the Ostrava Steelers. Garrett Griffeth is a well-traveled coach and player who started his career playing in different countries all over Europe and has now spent the last season with the Ostrava Steelers, taking them to the Czech Republic Super Bowl. I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but he went to the top game there. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce head coach Garrett Griffith. Welcome to the show, Garrett. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, Coach. First thing I want to talk about, how did you get here, okay? I've talked to a lot of different coaches, a lot of different players. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not 100% familiar with your route to international football. So first thing I want to know is, how did you get into playing international football and obviously coaching with the Steelers in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of luck, to be honest. So my senior year at college, Hastings College in Nebraska, we had a quarterback transfer in, AJ Palazzola.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Somehow he got moved off the screen.
So AJ Palazzola, he transferred in. He's a quarterback. He played in Germany the year before for the Hildesheim Invaders, and we became really good friends. And he told me all about European, American football in Europe, and Euro Players was the only platform at the time. So I hopped on, made a profile, and just went from there. So really, if he didn't transfer in, I don't even know if I'd be in Europe right now. So I'm pretty fortunate for that opportunity and that little stroke of luck.
That's pretty awesome, Coach. So getting into exactly what happened last year, you took over as the head coach for the Ostrava Steelers. Tell us a little bit about how that went as being both a coach and a player for the Steelers last season.
Yeah, so myself and Luke Wildung, we kind of owe it to Dale Heffron that we got that job opportunity. Because it was extended to him first. He wasn't able to. He stayed in Marburg, and he extended it to us. So, we took the opportunity last year. We both shouldered all of the weight. I wouldn't be able to do this job coaching and playing without Luke Wildung. So, we took that opportunity. We saw it was a 1-9 team from the year previous. 6 teams in the top league last year. So, our goals and expectations were just to make playoffs. Just to make an improvement, make progress. We wanted to keep our goals attainable. We didn't want to shoot for the moon and then just, completely flop. So, we kept our goals attainable. We wanted to make playoffs. Really, we just wanted to build it from the ground up, get back to the basics, because all of the pieces in Ostrava were there. All the pieces were there. All we needed to do was just do some coaching, add some direction, some organization, and really – it's because of the team chemistry and really the attitude that our players embody because of where they're from, I think played a huge role in why we had success last year. Made it to the championship. We exceeded expectations. Of course we lost, but we gained some valuable experience last year, moving forward to the next season.
So speaking a little bit more about what you're talking about with the next season, we talked previously before we got on the show is you said there's like a 3-year plan going on with the Steelers. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? Like, what is the process that you guys are going through right now?
Yeah, so we're here today because of Adam Sinodchek. He really makes everything tick for the Steelers. After that 1-9 season, he put together a 3-year plan, strength and conditioning, off-season protocol, the whole 9 yards. And he proposed that to the team, and they went ahead and went with it. So really right now, we're a team in progress. We're really building right now. So having that early success last year really helped boost our progress. with recruitment, with sponsorships, just everything like that. So really, like I said before, just to reiterate, we're just a team. We're building right now. We have some momentum, moving in the right directions, taking those little steps forward into the right direction right now.
All right, Coach. What about you guys' off-season program for this year? I know you currently aren't in the Czech Republic, but obviously you've got to be overseeing what's going on with the team in the off-season. What do you have kind of planned for you guys' off-season this year, getting ready for 2018?
Yeah, so currently right now, we have our strength and conditioning program and protocol in place. Myself and Luke Wildung will show up early January. And once that happens, we're going to have a skills camp. We're going to invite, a few teams from around the area, some skills camps, get right into practices. February, we have another mini camp. We're actually going to have a preseason game with the Krakow Kings. They're a second division team in Poland. It's going to be a controlled scrimmage. We're going to be midway through our preseason at that point. And really, then we just have our team camp before right before our first game. First game, I think, is first weekend in April. So we have a lot of things planned, a lot of organization going on, and I'm just ready to get back. Because like you said, I'm in Colorado. It is difficult to oversee everything. That's why we're so fortunate to have guys like Adam Sinachuk, and Michael, Wojcik, and all of these guys who really oversee things when we're not there.
That's awesome, Coach. It seems like you got a really good foundation with that team and a lot of support coming from, I'm not going to butcher their names, but you said them much better than I did. That's always really good to see. Next thing I want to talk to you about was a little bit about how you've played in a lot of different countries. You mentioned them to me earlier. I'm not going to lie and repeat them because I don't remember all of them, but that's why we're here. You're going to tell us more about it. Compared to some of those other countries, how is the football in the Czech Republic? I know it's up and coming, but give us kind of a view of where you see it now compared to where it could be in a couple of years since you've been there and have a little bit of experience, especially with the other countries. Yeah,
of course. Like I told you, I played in Finland and Italy and other places. And the level of football in the Czech Republic, like I said, it really is growing. It exceeded my expectations last year, to be honest. And with a league that's rapidly growing like it is, the league is expanding from 6 to 8 teams this year. Bitters League, Bitters Gum is one of the main sponsors. They're partners with Under Armour. So really the league is growing. And I think that exposure is bringing more players to the Czech Republic, and that exposure, and especially our success last year, really showed people that, hey, PvP, people can play against them. Because for some reason, there was this stigma about PvP, the Prague Black Panthers, that they couldn't be beaten, And so last year, I think we really showed people that, we shook things up. And so I think people respond to that, and I think the level of play really is rising, especially, like I said, with the league expanding, with the sponsors that the league has, the exposure, the media. So I think it's really growing, and it's going in the right direction.
That's awesome, Coach. I've never been to the Czech Republic, but I've only heard good things about the sport. Like you said, again, PBB is Prague Black Panthers for anyone else who's not hip on the lingo like I am. So that is one team that has basically dominated in the Czech Republic. It's the only team that I actually had heard of before this last season when you guys made a run for it. And that's really good to see that there's that competition. Competition is what grows a lot of these different football leagues in different countries. Is you need someone to compete with the best teams so that more people are drawn to the area. And speaking of more people, you guys are getting more imports. You're getting more players every year because of this, right?
Yeah, exactly. We had some good exposure last year, like I said. I think we recruited about 25 players from the surrounding areas and Poland. We're right on the border with Poland. I think that puts us, we're right around 100 players with our junior team. So I think we have around a little over 80 players for our senior team right now. So yeah, so it talks. Recruitment's huge right now. Obviously numbers breeds competition within your team and raises everyone's competition level. So we're very fortunate to have that.
All right, Coach. Next thing I wanted to ask you real quick was, like I said before, it's great that you've actually been to multiple countries, so you kind of get a feel for the personalities and the different playing styles. And as a player, you kind of get to throw yourself into the culture. So I wanted to ask you a little bit, how is the culture not only in the Czech Republic, because that's where you're going to be next year, but how about culture in other countries in Europe when it comes to being an import player, joining during the summertime usually, and getting to be part of the lifestyle out there? How's the culture and lifestyle?
I think it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. It really is. Going over to Europe and playing in different countries, it changed the way I view the world. It changed the way, I view relationships, other cultures. It was really eye-opening experience, and, I couldn't be more grateful for it, really. Playing in 4 different countries now, each one's a little bit different than the next, some more different than others, but just, taking it as a whole and, networking and making those connections and, cultivating relationships that you'll have for the rest of your life. It's pretty a rewarding thing to do.
I know playing in different countries is definitely one of the highlights of my life, like being able to travel the world and play the sport I love. And it's always great to see guys go from, in your situation specifically, is you're going from playing to you're segueing into the coaching, of course. But let's talk about that a little bit. How did it go last season with you being both the coach and the player? Like, how did you, I guess, compartmentalize and also game plan every week? How did you control the team and contribute to the team at the same time?
Well, yeah, that was, the difficult thing going in. Luke Wildung and myself were like, we got to take it day by day, kind of got to figure it out. But, before the season, you lay out expectations as a team as a whole for that season, expectations for practice, what you expect out of your players, what your players should expect out of your coaches. We established that we were coaches first, players second. And there'd be, probably one practice a week where I wouldn't suit up and I'd just coach. And so we slowly got into a rhythm. We slowly worked out a formula that worked. Like I said, I think I said it before. I think that's what kind of played into our success, because I believe that the strongest teams are formed within the locker room. The players hold each other accountable. And so being a coach and a player, keeping that locker room tight, I think really, I think it really played into our success this last season. But yeah, it's definitely unorthodox, that's for sure. But I think we made it work. It's all about relationships, and I think that, yeah, I think players need to be appreciated, and they definitely are. And I think we're tight within the locker room, so that plays a lot into our success.
Okay, let me ask you another question about this playing and coaching, because I'm sorry, it's a crazy thing to do. So did you ever get in those situations where you're like in the game and you're like, okay, I know as a team this is what we need to do, but damn it, I'm a baller. I got to go out there and make a play. Like, did you ever have those type of situations? I'm just asking to figure out how you could control yourself.
Definitely. I remember, I think it was the 8th or 9th game of the season. We were playing the Stallions. If we beat the Stallions, we secure the number 2 spot in the playoffs, right? We beat them once before in the season, and we go to Podyum to play the Stallions, and I think we're down. They scored 3 touchdowns, I think, in 12 plays, something like that, something crazy. And, we go into halftime down 21-0. And, it's as a player, you know how it is as a player talking to other players. And I told him right away, I was like, this isn't me as a coach talking to you, this is me as a player talking to you, and it really just, let him show my emotion, at that point. So there definitely are times where you have to differentiate, if you're coaching them or if you're talking to them as a player, as a teammate. So that was definitely one specific time that was like, hey, I couldn't handle it. I was like, this is me as a player talking to you now, not a coach. So yeah, there definitely are those times. And I think that the players, our team, they could tell the difference, and I think we really established that. But still, there's some gray areas from time to time. But you just have to be, black and white about everything, be upfront, and I think that they respond really well to that.
That's awesome. I know it's got to be tough to like toe that line, but it seems like you've really got a hold on when to be that coach and when to be that player. And do your players respond well to that, of you towing that line and letting them know, hey, as a coach, this is how I am. As a player, this is how I am.
Yeah, they definitely respond well. I think it took some, a little bit of time to realize that and to get used to it, because as a teammate, I still hang out with my teammates outside of practice, so at the very beginning, there were times during practice where it was a little familiar. And, that's when you just have to go in and say, hey, I'm the coach first, player second. And I think throughout the season, we really solidified that relationship and made it work.
Next question I was going to ask you, Coach, is, okay, you guys go from 1-9 the season before, and how many games did you win in 2017? I'm not 100% sure. Sorry.
I think we were 9-3.
9-3.
9-3-1 or 8-3-1. Sorry.
8-3-1. Either way, you go from a 1-9 team to Czech Bowl runner-ups.
Yeah.
What do you think is one of the main ingredients to that success? I know, of course, you have a new coaching staff. You might have changed a couple of things, but what about your team made you guys successful in this last season in this turnaround?
Honestly, I really think it goes back to the mindset that these players embody from, it's a reflection of where they're from. I really do think that's the truth. It's an old steel city, hardworking, down-to-earth people, and that's how they play, and that's how they prepare, and that's how they approach every single situation. And like I said, all the pieces were there. They just needed some direction, some proper coaching, film, game planning, practice plans, all of the things that we, might have taken for granted growing up in the States, playing football in the States. They just needed that to be introduced into their culture. So we went in, we, changed the mindset, we changed the culture, built a great foundation. And really our success last year was an ode just to our players and how hard they worked and, how much they bought in to what we were doing this last year. It's really an ode to our players and their will to sacrifice, for, a common goal, for a team, for a brotherhood. So really, it's all about our players.
That's awesome, Coach. It seems like you got a really great thing going on over there in the Czech Republic. So that's why I want to actually get more into this about the actual football being played over there. How is the sport development in that country, in your opinion, compared to other countries you've been to, like with the youth program, the top level teams getting better? How is the local development there?
Like I said, again, local development it's on the rise. It's in progress. To compare it to, the Maple League in Finland, they're behind a little bit. But like I said, with this new league and the league expanding and just all the, the PR and the marketing and all the money going into the league, it's really growing. It really is. It's all about, it's not about perfection. It's about progress, and Czech Republic definitely is in progress right now, for the better, definitely in the right direction. And, it's things like this that, bring light to the Czech Republic. And so, we're just doing anything we can to help, promote and grow the sport in our country.
I was thinking about this. I've been writing all this stuff down. I think I spelled the Czech Republic wrong.
CZECH.
Yeah, I put a CH, right? That's not correct. I'm sorry, Czech Republic. I apologize. I typed this very quickly, and I did not mean to spell it wrong. I was looking at it, I'm like, that does not look like the right word. And there's like a CH on there. But I don't have time to change it. So I'm sorry, Czech Republic. But we're still trying to, shine light on you out there. Okay, guys? Sorry for that. But, Coach, next thing I was going to ask you, all right, you guys we've already talked about it. You went from 1-9. Now you're Czech Bowl runner-up. 2018, realistically, what are the expectations for you guys?
Realistically, our expectations are to be back in that game and to compete. And we're more than capable of winning a Czech championship. I think, the Czech championship last year, we owe lost a lot to, inexperience. We were in there, we were 1-9, and then, like you said, boom, to the Czech Bowl. And just a lot of inexperience there. I think we were at a little bit of a disadvantage, coaching staff wise, not having some eyes in the sky to make, personnel corrections like that on the fly. And going against a team like the Black Panthers, they're, like I said, they're very mature, well-versed. They've been in that game, I think, 4 times in a row before. So it was definitely a challenge, but, we don't have that excuse this year, that inexperienced excuse. We know that we're capable. We've done it before. We have no reason at all not to go back there and do it again. So, by all means, our goal is to make it back there and win the whole thing this year.
Okay, back in it to win it, huh, Coach? In it to win it. You heard it here first. Ostrava Steelers are in it to win it. Matter of fact, where's that little sign that says Steelers on there? So I can put it down. There you go. This team, Ostrava Steelers, they're in it to win it next year, guys. All right, last question, Coach, and then I'll let you get out of here and get back to your life out there in Colorado. You lucky guy.
Yes.
Let's talk long-term legacy for Garrett Griffeth, okay? You're the guy, you've been playing in Europe. Now you're kind of segueing into coaching. I know we're jumping the gun. You're not even done playing because you still can strap it on and contribute to any team you want to. But let's humor me here for a second, and let's talk down the road. Career is pretty much said and done. What do you expect your legacy to be? What do you expect people to say about either player or coach Garrett Griffith when it's all said and done?
I never want to burn any bridges. And the whole thing about American football in Europe, it's not just about winning. It's about going in, like you said, you immerse yourself into a culture, into a city or a town, wherever you are, and you impact those players' lives, and you impact that town and those people in that town, because you go into a town for 1 year, boom, you can be gone, leave, go to another country. Those people will still be there, And so I want to form and cultivate those relationships with people, and I want to, positively impact the people I'm around and the city or culture that I'm in. So I guess looking back, I just want to be known as a good person with good intentions and, positively impacted some lives.
It sounds like you're running for like a political office of some sort.
Yeah. So, I think it's just all about the relationships that you form. Of course, you want to win games while you're doing it. But, at the end of the day, football is not going to be there. Like you said, once you're done, you're done. So, at the end of the day, if football is not there, what's going to be left?
Great words. You said it better than most people could. It's more than just football, and that's what you're in it for. You're in it for the long haul. You want to make great relationships and not burn any bridges. That's awesome, Coach. We appreciate you being here today on the Podium Live. I don't really have any more questions, Coach. You got any last minute shout outs you want to give anybody? A lot of people watching. You got 33 viewers live right now. Think you want to say to anyone?
No, I just want to say, like I said, we got our sights set on 2018. We're in it to win it. And, I appreciate and want to thank everybody involved. I want to thank you for the opportunity to spotlight us. And I appreciate what the Podium does for players and teams, over in Europe and around the world. And I just want to say thank you for the time and opportunity.
We appreciate it, Coach. Now we're going to do our little outro thing, just so you know, so you can listen to this. If you guys are interested in joining the Podium and following the movement, we're doing football all the time, every day. We're recruiting players. We're connecting with teams. We're trying to make sure that if you want to see the world, if you want to go anywhere in the world and you love football, you're passionate about the game, we're going to try to make sure that you have somewhere to go, somewhere to see the game, somewhere to play the game, somewhere to coach the game. That's what we're going to be trying to do for you guys all around the world. So just go today, go to Recruit the Podyum, recruit.thepodium.com. Sign up, create a profile, connect with other people, connect with other coaches, connect with other teams. And that's pretty much what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep this thing going. We appreciate everybody coming and watching the show today. We're going to be here every Tuesday and Thursday. I know it's a Wednesday, but Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. So we had Coach Griffith come today on a Wednesday. So you guys could definitely get this show in and see more people talking about football worldwide. We appreciate you guys following us today. Have a great day.